have a big ol' yawn right as I'm starting the stream. Welcome back to the stream again. It is Monday. It was a very long and exhausting weekend, and I am ready to just play some Minecraft for a bit and forget about everything. Hi, puppy dog. What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing today for sure, but we're just gonna get some stuff done in the world, I think. Whatever I can really think of to get done and to make some progress on. I found like ideas and concepts that make sense for what I'm thinking of for the house, but none of them are really helpful with like figuring out how I want to do the layout and stuff, so I'm not sure. We finished this project, I think, if I remember properly. Pigs. We have enough levels that we could enchant a couple things if we really wanted to, which might be useful to start working on better armor pieces. What I'm also thinking is that the nether portal needs to be moved, because we need to have another portal that connects down to the bottom, not into that really high up cave that we have there. But I'm also a little traumatized from the nether, so I don't know if I want to deal with it right now. The nether's not my favorite place at the moment. Hi, how are you? So I'm not entirely sure what the projects will be. Welcome to the stream. I don't know what I'll be doing today yet, because I haven't really planned anything for the day. And we finished the last project we were working on, so we have to think of something else. Probably actually fixing up this platform a little. I'm kind of thinking one more down from here would make sense, because then it'd be the same level as that over there. But also one more down feels really tedious to do. Who knows? I think we have enough iron to make a bunch of shovels and stuff to last to do that concept. I'm alright. Glad that you're good. I think that might be what I'll do, is figure out some more of that platform so we can work on a house soonish. We really need a house is what we need. I can do the bee garden at some point too, but we need a house so that we can move this and so that we can have everything all finished anyways, or make a building for the enchantment setup. Either way, we need something. Put the food away. Let's do some terraforming then. That horse isn't on the outside, right? No, it's just up on the edge, okay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the horses can't get out of the stables, but I wouldn't like to figure that out the bad way and lose all my horses. Because we have a bunch of them in there. Let's do some of this and try to get a platform started. For me, it is currently about 1:30 p.m. I usually stream around this time most days. I stream for like between now and the next couple hours most of the time when I stream, because it's the time that I usually am able to get on, and then the time that I end is about the time that my partner gets home from work, and then I have to do other things for the night. Oh geez. Well, that's very late. I mean, I can't say much, I'm up that late sometimes, but that's definitely pretty late to be up, just watching some random stream. Yeah, so I'd be going until about 3 a.m. your time, roughly, for my usual schedule. Whether I'll be doing that today or not, I'm not sure how long I'll be up, but, or how long I'll be streaming, I mean. Depends on what I get done, and if my brain decides to fizz out or not. I really think one more level would actually be a lot better, but I really don't want to terraform another whole huge level like this. Ugh. So this platform is going to be the house eventually, and the house is going to be fairly large, so that's why I keep making it lower, and it also helps it to, like, taking this down also helps so that all our builds over there are a little closer to anything up here, because I've taken down about 5 levels off of this by now, so it was actually a lot higher, because my concept with the house is probably going to be something fairly realistic to, like, what a house I would like in real life would be like, instead of having to make something more themed to Minecraft. So it's going to be a really big project for sure, but I just don't know how much I want to put into working on the platform, since, like I said, I've taken down like 5 levels of this already, so it's getting a little tiring. But I really think one more level down would actually help balance everything a little better. It's just gonna be a lot of work. We've done like an entire stream. I've done an entire couple-hour stream on this one's just like the no sound or no microphone, and just trying to get some of this done. Which is probably what most of the terraforming will have to be, is just like entire streams dedicated to it to get it done. Mainly because I don't really want to do much off stream. I'm trying to keep most of the progress of this world being on stream, but when it comes to terraforming, it's only so much that you can really stream before it becomes just clogging up the episodes with boring tasks. I'm tempted to go diamond mining again today, but I don't think I want to get lost in the mines that we have over there again. We do need to make a system to get over there, so maybe I can use this cobble to make the railroad system to get over there easier, and that might make it a little easier to get in and out. Because if I make that railroad system, I can actually make it go all the way down into the cave, and then what we can do is keep some chest mine carts over that way, and transport any extra resources back to the house without having to go back to the house. I don't use Java Edition much. I do have it on my PC upstairs, but my PC can barely run Minecraft at best, so I have it, yes, I just haven't played it very much. I mainly play on here, which is PS4, so Bedrock Edition. I used to prefer Java Edition before I had a PC that really couldn't run it that well. I grew up playing Java Edition the most, so that kind of was a place in my heart. And then I transferred to PS3, which I still usually play once in a while, but of course that's pretty outdated on updates. I do not at all play Valorant. I know like literally nothing about the game. I don't even know if it's on anything that we own. I know that we have Fortnite on this, but that's because that's his game that he plays. Other than that, I don't know. I really I have a very short attention span, so doing projects like this helps me stay focused, and I usually play a little bit of different games. Fair enough. Yeah, I never really have had Xboxes, so I was from Java Edition on laptop to playing some on some of the Pocket Edition on old school iPods and stuff, like the touchscreen iPods. Me and my friend used to have Minecraft on it, and then switched over to PS3 when we got a PS3. Because for actual gaming systems, I mainly played like the Wii. We had a Wii that we got way back when they first started coming out, because my mom works online and she got a partnership with them, and she got it for either really cheap or free or whatever with a bunch of extra stuff. So we mained the Wii for quite a while. We still have the original one that we got somewhere. And then we switched over to PS3 when those came out, roughly. And since then, I mainly played PS3. And then he has a PS4, which I just now started to get into. I'm still a little funky with the updates for Minecraft because the edition for PS3 actually stopped around like the ocean update, aquatic update. So all of the like bees and everything still kind of confuse me at times. Especially the villager stuff. All the villager mechanics still confuse me quite a bit. But learning little by little. Yeah, I would be streaming for my PS3, but as PS3s don't have any way to stream besides doing capture cards, I don't really have the ability to right now. I will eventually, but that's like a bunch of money into a capture card and then figuring out how to get it near either my PC or a laptop to be able to stream it, so it'll take a minute. For now, I can just hit a button on here and stream and have a little bit of a fun time. I should get out the fortune pick to mine these coal ore right here that and over there that we have. The couple coal veins that we have would probably be good with a little bit of fortune, so we have some extra coal. The original plan wasn't to have this platform this low, but I keep ending up adding to it because I keep trying to get it closer to the level that everything else is. Well, that's nice, thank you. I don't know either, but it's a vibe. I'm kind of the parent friend of everyone all the time, so that sort of makes sense. This is just a chill place. We talk about random crap. I think one of the biggest, like most of the big conversations end up being about random comfort shows and characters that I have, and a bunch of different mental health or LGBT topics and crap like that all the time. And for the most part, I keep swears to a minimum, even though I swear like a sailor in real life a lot of the time. Just because I don't actually have any need to swear, so I try not to. But there's definitely been a few swears, like losing my favorite bow in the nether from dying, and a couple other lovely incidents, so. Just a chill little safe place for me to talk about random stuff and play some games. Is kind of the energy here. Now, where does all this go in my system? Do I have copper? I do have copper. I'll add it to that. Yeah, I could get into that feeling a lot. That's a really sucky feeling, so I'm sorry that you know that feeling. But yeah, yeah. That's definitely something that I grew up with a lot. So as some people on my stream know, I am autistic, so being autistic means you don't always pick up on things that you should. And it also means it's a little difficult to like make or keep friends, just because I have a very different sense of humor and a very different like way of the world. So a lot of times my friends would be really important to me, but I wouldn't be the same level of importance to them, I guess. So like the type of situation where it's like you're always there for everyone else, but everyone else is just kind of like whatever. Which, I mean, I'm used to it, so it is what it is, but I definitely know it's like a lot of times I got into a few arguments or like would get distant with my friends, especially one of my old best friends I had for a really long time. It would happen the same way of like she had a friend from band growing up as well, and her and I were like her and I were really close. Me and my best friend were really close. But then her other friend and her were really close because they had known each other like longer and everything. and they'd always get into fights and stuff over stupid drama or over her boyfriend or whatever, and then she'd be like telling me about this person and venting, and I'd be like helping her, and then she'd be like, yeah, I'm fine, no, I'm better without her, and then you like, you know, see her like posting with her again and hanging out with her again, and you're just sitting there like, oh, okay. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely know that feeling a lot, so it sucks. And if you are going through that, I'm sorry, but it does get a little easier when you find people that understand that over time. Like one of my close friends that I have right now really does understand a lot of the intense attachments that I have with people. So even when he's having a hard time, or even when he's busy with other people, he will usually try to remind me, like, hey, you're still like my friend, and I still really like you, and you're still really important, like, we're fine. But it takes a lot to get through that. I'm not completely through that feeling either. But I also have a lot of I have a lot of issues that make getting through that feeling a little worse, because my form of trauma disorder ended up being a personality disorder, and that makes my entire world revolve around a few specific people in my life all the time. So, like, they speak at you in the wrong tone and your whole world crashes for a while. And I'm working on it, like, I'm in therapy and working on it, but yeah, Elliot, you know. You're the one that I'm talking about anyways, as far as knowing what's going on and stuff, but it's a lot to deal with, especially like, I don't know your age and stuff like that, but it does get a little easier with time and with age and with learning about yourself, because a lot of times the people that make you feel that way really aren't people that are that important or as important as you want them to be. Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's how a lot of my days go, especially like right now. My partner doesn't really have any awareness, or at least any respect for that situation, and the fact that like my whole world would revolve around him, and like anything said wrong would like really set me off. And granted, that isn't his full responsibility, that's also my responsibility, but there's been a lot of cases where like he will continue to trigger the same things in me because he just doesn't like think about them or doesn't like remember them or anything, which is weird because I remember everything about everyone that could possibly bother them all the time. But yeah, I'll just replace an entire human being with my Oogie Boogie coming in the mail. That'll work. I mean, fair enough. But I don't know when that'll come in. I had to order that like on the day after my birthday. Build-A-Bear has this coupon code they send you for your birthday, and because I put it in my account late, I was hoping they'd send me the code, but they never did, so I was like, I'm just ordering it full price, whatever. So it'll come in at some point within the next week or so. It does get better though, as far as that situation. It's still in the middle for me, but it does get better as far as like, I'm painfully self-aware, so I try to correct it in myself a lot of the times when I notice it's happening, but as far as other people around you caring about it too, it gets better. Like, I would be in a whole different place if I didn't have friends like Elliot that like completely are aware of that kind of trigger and genuinely try to help a little. And I mean, even cases of close friends in real life that I like thought would never be that way are really good about that. It just takes time. It takes figuring it out. It takes kind of talking with people about it, which sucks because it's one of the things you like never want to talk about, because you don't really want to say like, oh my god, I'm so dependent on you that I need you to not even like slightly change your tone of voice at me, because then you feel like you're a child all over again. But it works out eventually, and there's a lot of people that really would care about that situation and about how you feel, more so than you would think. That is true. Most of my friends are like all dealing with similar things, so that's also the way that things work a little easier. We'll all just have mental breakdowns if we don't hear from each other. It's fine. Not to get all advicey about it, but Yeah, I get that. I know a lot of people that are like that, and I can get like that a lot of times too. It takes a lot of really hard like thinking about things and working through them. I mean, I've been in and out of therapy for over half of my life now. So a lot of it has been spent learning about myself and learning about how to deal with things. And also it takes a lot of kind of being able to care about yourself the way you care about other people. Like, if the same thing happened for someone else, you wouldn't be saying the same thing about them. Well, there's therapy for like everything. Finding a decent therapist in general is like really good for you. Granted, I haven't had that many decent therapists. I've had a lot of rough ones that give me little pieces of good things over the years, but you can also, in a way, help yourself a lot of times by learning from mistakes and kind of learning about self-help and things like that. But self-help's exhausting, and being self-aware is annoying, coming from experience. But I mean, it's also the biggest thing with that sort of mentality and trying to kind of work through that mentality is like, hey, if the same thing happened the other way, would you say that thing to someone else? So like, if someone you cared about did the same thing or had the same situation, would you be like, oh my god, it's your fault, you're like this awful person? Most likely, no, you wouldn't do that. So like, why are you being that hard on yourself, you know, that sort of concept. Because we really are a lot more harsh to ourselves because we have the ability to, and we have kind of that like standard of perfection for ourselves. I haven't watched Breaking Bad, actually. Everyone, like 3 people have told me to watch it, and I have not watched it at all. I need to sleep. I have a few shows that I've rewatched quite a few times that are in similar veins that people have suggested Breaking Bad because of, but I haven't watched Breaking Bad itself. Like, for example, Supernatural is a really big comfort show of mine, and there's Breaking Bad's more of my partner's vein of things than my vein of things, but it's like on my Netflix watch list, and I keep being told to watch it. I haven't made it that far yet. What was I gonna do when I was over here? Well, I'll remember that. I have it on my Netflix list most of the time. There's something I was gonna do while I was over here and I can't remember what it was. Oh well, back to terraforming. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna grab my fortune pick for when I mine that coal and stuff. Yeah, it'll make it on my list eventually. I mean, I should be watching new things, but I just restarted Supernatural for like the 6th time in a row. I actually haven't even heard of that one, sadly. So I will have to look into it. I have a whole list of shows that a bunch of people keep recommending, especially a lot of shows that Elliot watches that I have in my list of things to check out. Yeah, I haven't heard of it. I'm sorry, it's a sin. I don't know. I haven't heard of it. Like, I am very uneducated on certain things, so this will be wonky, but I like, you know, classic like TV shows and movies that most people have watched like at some point or know at some point in their life. As far as like classic movies, like, you know, Jaws, Titanic, Star Wars, all that sort of crap, like I haven't seen all 3 of those. I also have not seen Friends. I have not seen a lot of like really like common shows and movies that a lot of people have seen, but I've seen a lot of weird movies that people haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen Jaws, I haven't seen Titanic, I haven't seen Star Wars, I have seen The Hobbit, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. It's weird. So like, I grew up, I've seen all of Fast and Furious though. I've seen a lot of really specific other smaller movies. I've seen almost everything Marvel. Like, it's so weird with what specific things I ended up exposed to, but I didn't expose to other things. I mean, I grew up without cable. Like, for the majority of the first, like, over half of my life, I was living in a trailer that didn't have cable, and we watched everything off of DVD and VHS and shit. Like, that was like, yes, I have seen Back to the Future. I have. That is like a guaranteed my dad needed me to see that. And I've seen it quite a few times. That's also like a lot of things that came on reruns on television on the shows my nana watched once I moved to having cable. But like I had just whatever DVDs my dad had, whatever VHS my dad had. So that's like it's a weird amalgamation of random stuff. I've seen a lot more like kid shows than I've seen anything else, because then in the house that I had cable, it was like my two little brothers in the house, and it was always just something for them that was on. So Back to the Future, those movies. My dad still wants me to watch Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and stuff. We just never got around to it because we didn't have it on DVD back then. And I was young, like, when I moved out of that trailer, I was 8 or 9. And then, I mean, around that time I had cable at my mom's house, but I had, like, 2 brothers that were 4 and 6 years younger than me. Oh, I have watched Courage the Cowardly Dog, like, billions of times. You know what's funny? I used to watch that on, my Nana's, Game Boy. She used to have one of the actual, like, little show inserts instead of game inserts for Courage the Cowardly Dog on the Game Boy, and I would sit there and watch it. Same thing with, what is it? God damn it, I'm gonna have to look it up to remember what it is. The, Mandy and the Reaper, Grim Reaper. I cannot remember the actual technical term of the show. And Ed, Edd and Eddy, and a lot of those, like, Fever Dream cartoons from that era were definitely in my, like, what I've watched. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I love that show even as an adult. I used to, if you search it on YouTube, I think there's still quite a few people that have uploaded, like, full episodes of it on YouTube. And so I'll just, like, watch it every so often, because it's just, it's a sad show, like, but it's a comfort show as an adult now. Yes, I think I actually saw those, like, in theaters when they were coming out, to be honest. Those were definitely up my alley of things I've watched. I've watched the Divergent, the Maze Runner, the Percy Jackson movies, which were iffy. All of that sort of stuff. That's definitely, like, up my alley of stuff. And I've read all of those, too. I'm a big reader, so. Yeah, like, Elliot and I both are definitely up that alley of things. I'm actually recollecting the Maze Runner books to have. Are you into anything Rick Riordan? Because Rick Riordan's similar era of the kind of genre of the idea of, like, Maze Runner and Divergent and things like that. I've heard of Mr. Robot. I haven't actually watched it. Yeah, you watch a lot of random stuff. Elliot's really good for like shows that you might like as far as the similar vein. You guys have very similar concepts of shows from what I've heard. Frickin' Elliot got me into Merlin though. Really into Merlin. Like, I want to rewatch it again already. I don't know. I wasn't at, like, that was something that I would have had, like, I would have had to have very specific access to it to get it as a kid, and then I never watched it, like, as an adult, because I just never bothered, I guess. I don't know. I have ironically enough, my senior shirt that my mom got me is, like, Friends style. It's got, like, senior, but, like, the font and the colors and stuff of the Friends, like, logo or whatever, and I haven't seen Friends at all. But that's because I graduated in 2020, so, like, it's those stupid shirts that were everywhere that had, like, the Friends logo, but senior instead of Friends, and then it was, like, the one where we got quarantined with the damn mask or whatever. So, yeah, I will put it on my bucket list. I know that's definitely something that's, like, that era of things I need to see. Fair enough, yeah. There's a lot of things like that, though, especially that era of television. There's a lot of things like that where, like, you look back at it. I mean, even kids shows, like, even SpongeBob, that freaking kids watch all the time. You watch that as an adult, and you realize a lot of the things that the editors were putting in, and a lot of Disney movies and stuff like that too. Like, Disney really snuck in a lot of things that were really specific for adults as well. Pixar more than Disney. Like, I guess to kind of make it something that's enjoyable for adults and kids, but it just makes it like awkward rewatching it as an adult. Yeah, that's the other one that you were telling me about the other day that you're gonna watch. SpongeBob was just like what was always so here, at least for like when I had cable. SpongeBob was on like 24/7. Like there was at least one channel that had SpongeBob on. So a lot of kids got really exposed to it. And it went on for ages. So like it was just like one of those like comfort stupid kid shows that like my parents always said were making you lose brain cells and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things. Like SpongeBob would be on until 1 in the morning before like freaking Lopez came on and stuff like that. It just was like the thing that was always there. I haven't been keeping up with what movies are coming out right now, actually. I really need to get back up to date on movies. I was really heavily like a theater nerd, and I loved everything about all of the movies that were coming out. And I just haven't kept up with it in a while. So I really need to actually relearn what's going on. There's actually a local theater that I've been to so many times that they usually know me by name when I show up, and they'll usually let me do like double features and stuff. It's a family-owned little place, and they're super nice, but I just haven't kept up with it in a while, and I haven't been back there in a while. I haven't seen much about the Mario. I think I saw a little snippet of it the other day, but I haven't seen much about it. Most things Disney, though. Oh, the other thing that I realized the other day that I haven't seen that I probably really should have seen and should see now since they made a second one was Hocus Pocus. And that's like right up my alley of things that I love, and I have not actually ever seen that. Yeah, I understand that statement, Elliot. Like, it's iffy. Me too. It's definitely something that I should have seen a long time ago as far as like I like that genre of things, but then they made the second one and I realized I actually haven't seen the first one, so I probably should see that. And I even have Disney Plus right now, so like there's nothing stopping me. I just haven't gotten around to it. I hope I can finish this platform. Okay, hopefully you're gonna get some sleep because it's really late for you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're around, like, not at 1 in the morning if I stream any other time. Thank you. Have a good night. Get some rest. Bye. Elliot, you got Halloween socks? I just saw that. Halloween socks are the top tier. I really want to get like decorative socks, but I haven't because I never actually remember to wear anything besides like really long, like I just wear like everything covered, so I don't remember that I have socks on or anything. I need socks though. I need clothes in general, holy crap. I don't even know what else to do for my birthday stuff because of the Oogie Boogie I got and I ordered. That's like my birthday or whatever. What else? The barbecue was my birthday. And then books, I guess. I ordered those other 2 to that series, and I got a few from the bookstore. I guess that's like my birthday stuff. Like, I don't know. I can't think of anything else, really. I had a bunch of ideas, but now that I'm looking at the money I have for my birthday stuff, I'm kind of like, I just want to save it. I don't really want to do anything with it. Because I have a couple hundred that I set aside for the vehicle, and I still have quite a bit of money from birthday money, because, like, a couple relatives gave me money for my birthday on the barbecue day, and things like that. Although we are supposed to get, like, dinner this week for my birthday. Fun fact, if you're still tuning in, Elliot, my dad officially vaguely wants to kill him now, because he's like, he seriously didn't take a singular day off and didn't do anything for your birthday, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, I am getting close to the burying a body stage. I'm like, yeah, me too. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, is like, if I save it aside, I might be able to like do something with it in the future, like another tattoo or something, you know? Because I think I have like 300 or something like that right now of birthday money saved up, because I got like 200 for the month from my mom, which was work stuff, not birthday stuff, and then my mom gave me a little money for my birthday, and my dad gave me a little bit, and then like a couple relatives gave me like 10 or 20 bucks, so it added up to like 300 really fast. So I'm really tempted to just kind of stick it in my savings, because that could be like a decent amount of tattoos if I save up a little more, which would be really nice. Because there were other ideas I had for birthday stuff, but looking back at them, I'm kind of just like, I don't really want them right now. Yeah, he's valid, like, very rarely, but that was a valid statement. But his other point was that if he's taking 2 days off for his birthday, because he's taking 2 days off for his birthday in December, but he didn't take anything off for my birthday. He's like, so that's how you, that's when you make plans and make sure you have like something else to do on those days that he has off. Like, sorry, bye. But the barbecue wasn't that bad until like 10 p.m. Like, I really did like it until like 10 p.m. when it was like, I was freezing and he was getting more drunk than he should be, given that he's an adult and shouldn't be like getting himself blackout drunk at my birthday thing anyways. Like, that just sat weird. So like, it like 10 p.m. is when it like hit the limit of like, I'm overwhelmed, I want to go home, I've been out for like 12 hours, the dog's tired, like the dog had started like curling up at my feet because she was tired and cold. So I was like putting her on my lap and cuddling her and like helping her warm up, and I was just like at my limit. That was like, it's the end of the day, like most people have left besides my uncles, I'm done. But my dad had like just barely gotten to really sit down, and he had only sat down for like a half hour, so I wanted to stay a little longer, and then like he just kept drinking, and I was like, well, I'm stuck here for a while. But he got so drunk that he threw up like multiple times at like, and it's like, why would you do that for someone else's birthday? That just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it was decent for a little while. I felt bad because the little cousin that I was talking about that I could get like little kid fuel from and being able to spend some time with, she ended up being like really upset for the day because she falls asleep like every time they're in the car. So she fell asleep for like a half hour on a car ride, and of course, since she's a little kid, just a half hour is like a really weird amount of sleep for her. So she woke up and she was like all cranky and confused and everything, and then she ended up like literally throwing up all over my cousin, and I felt so bad because my cousin just like hit her limit of overstimulated and upset, so she just like immediately left afterwards. But I spent the first like 5 hours just running back and forth the whole time because I was just getting everything set up and helping set things up and helping my dad and stuff, but it's alright that it wasn't fun. That's kind of what happens. That was mediocre of like what could have gone wrong. Because it's with that side of my family, usually there's either like drunk so bad they're falling over, or like having arguments or not getting along or something like that at least twice during an event like that. But for the most part, my family was pretty okay. It was just the fact that, like, he got himself way too drunk and really shouldn't have. So, but, oh well. It is what it is. Can I sleep through this rain? The puppy's still pretty tired because that was like the most long and eventful day of her tiny little life, because she was out for over 12 hours and running around for most of it and everything else. We did end up bringing her out front with us because, like, at my dad's there's a big area out back that's like penned in for the dogs, and we had her out there at first, but then my nana kept like letting her dogs in and leaving her out on her own and stuff, and I was like, she's gonna be really anxious out there on her own. We can't do that. So we brought her out front, and we were worried she was gonna bark because she usually does, but she did okay. She didn't bark that much, and she got pretty comfortable with everything. And then she just spent most of the time kind of wandering around out front, sniffing around and begging for food and everything, so she did pretty good for her usual, at least. And she's very tired. She slept like until 2 p.m. yesterday without even moving. And today she's been in and out. She kind of gets hyper once in a while, but for the most part she's still pretty tired. Wandering Trader, what do you have? Anything good? Lily pads, birch tree. Nothing particularly useful. I don't need the leads though, so I'll let them exist. I should be done with this platform if I can get it down one more. I was gonna not get it down one more because this is a really massive area that I'll have to mine out, but then it'll be this level, so it'll be a little bit better. I don't know. I just want to get it as close to the level of all my other builds as possible. Leo messaged me a bunch for my birthday too. He was sweet. I haven't heard from him in a while, so I'm glad he's doing alright. But I am definitely very tired from that. Sunday was like, I don't know, it just sat weird with me because of the fact that, like, who the hell gets themselves like that drunk on someone else's birthday, especially when you know that other person that's birthday it is gonna be the one that has to like nurture you and take care of you and like get you home for the night and everything. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then of course, because he drank so bad and he hasn't drank in a while, he was like really, really not okay on Sunday too. So like my entire weekend, besides like the main good part of the barbecue, was like taking care of him. Because he woke up on Sunday at like 2 p.m. and he was shaking and he was lightheaded and everything else, like really bad effects from it. But yeah, like I kind of agree with you on that. I only drink here and there, and I've never really drank to get drunk, so I don't really get it in general anyways, but it's just wonky. Like, I get that he was trying to, the main thing was he was trying to fit in, like, with my family, and he was trying to pace himself with my family, but my family has extremely high alcohol tolerances, and we said that the whole day, where, like, they will drink twice the amount you could drink before you, like, get yourself, like, actual alcohol poisoning, and they will still be fine, because that's just, my family drinks a lot, and they're pretty used to it, so it's just, like, that's not a good idea. You can't just, like, try to keep up with them because you want to, like, keep up with them. It's not a good idea. Even they were saying that, and he still just kept going, and I'm like, please stop. This isn't like your really lightweight buddies that'll pass out before you are done drinking. It's not how that works. But oh well. It is what it is. Just another birthday, I suppose. But It was really nice that like most of my family was there and like everyone got along for the most part though, because that doesn't happen very often at all. Because it's hard to get everyone together and it's hard to keep everyone from arguing and complaining. And I saw one of my little cousins that I haven't seen since she was like a baby, because she's like almost 1 or almost 2 or something like that. Or just turned 1 or 2, I can't remember. And I've only seen her when she was like a little tiny baby. So it was cute to see her. But she like screams and cries about everything unless she's like right inside of her mom, so I just didn't really interact with her that much. It was just like, oh cool, that's a baby. I'm gonna just stay over here. Cool. Are you dreaming, baby? Her paws are twitching and she's doing the old snuffles. I think she's dreaming next to me. Nixie girl. Oh, there goes the dream. She got quieted down. Oh, she's doing little yips. Oh. She's doing like little yips. I don't know if I should disturb her or let her dream. It's so weird to think that dreams are like so short from the outside but so long like in our brains when we're sleeping. It's something like the average duration of a dream from the outside is like only a few seconds, but it feels like forever when we're actually in dreams. It's weird. It's cool, but it's weird. I need something with silk touch at some point to be able to move the beehives around. Maybe we'll put some bees over on the fisherman's island over there. Move a bee nest over there. There's a few flowers around that they could get honey from. Move it to the underneath of one of the trees. I'd say put one of the actual bee hives down, but that doesn't help if there's no bees over there, so we'd have to move one of the bee nests themselves. I really just want to finish this so I don't have an excuse of why I can't do my house. But it's gonna take so long to finish this. I know, bees, I'm gonna have to replant your flowers in a minute. I'm gonna let them collect from the flowers and then I'm gonna mine them down and replace them. I think. Because I don't want to have them wander away from the nest to look for more flowers. Okay, let's do... like that. We'll do a few torches down around them to make sure they're safe. Oh, the puppy dog woke up, so I guess her dream's over. Jeez. This is gonna take so long to get rid of. But this is what I signed myself up for. Because I couldn't just leave it at this platform, I had to do one more. I don't even know how many layers I've taken off of this at this point, probably like at least 6 or 7. And then I also have to go through and mine all this to put the dirt in place of to make it all grass. Which will also suck. I'll probably pause once I get some more cobblestone and then go and build the platform for that railway system. That was concerning. I just heard a loud crash from Togo upstairs. He probably fell off of his level again. He worries me when he does that. He's too old for that. Togo's always falling off of everything. My dad's messaging me, but I don't know what he's messaging me about because I haven't paid attention to my phone. The only time my messenger ever goes off anymore is if it's my parents. Jesus, my mom sent me stuff and my dad sent me stuff. Desk. Something. Messes. I don't know. I'm not dealing with that right now. I like the garden though, the garden came out good. Yep, we have a horse friend. I gotta put it back at the stable, over at the stable, but we have a lot of horses now, actually. How many horses do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 I wanna say? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, 14 including that one. Quite a few horses. Because I can't stop collecting them. If I just try to finish this task, then I'll have the space for the house, and then I just have to look up some ideas. I found ideas for the house for what would make sense for what I'm trying to think of, but they don't help with, like, me figuring out what dimensions and stuff I have to do to make it work right. They look right, but they don't, like, have any help for, like, how to execute it. Granted, I don't want to follow a tutorial step by step, but I want to, like, have some concept of where to start. And I'm not that good at translating images into builds. It kind of sucks that I got really focused on this world though, because I have another world on this PlayStation that's on his account that I really like to play on. And I miss playing on it. I gotta play outside of streaming too and just kind of enjoy the games I like. Like, I gotta play Sims again. I stopped playing Sims because I can't stream it, but I actually like playing it. So I should probably play it sometimes just for the hell of it. Except I get really hyper-focused on The Sims. And then I'm just, like, sucked into it for 6 hours of the day. This is gonna take ages. I like that I can see the other village off in the distance almost all the time. Can't wait till I start my own village concept that I had. Which is literally just copy and pasting a normal village houses and then turning it into my own thing. This will definitely resupply all the dirt that I used for the other projects, like the garden and stuff, though. Which is nice to have. I gotta sleep because the torches are really close to my house and not actually spread out as far as they should be for me mining them all. I'm curious how old that other person was that we were talking with. They're really nice and they sound interesting, but I'm really curious their age because they, like, a couple of the things that they were talking about and a couple of the, like, topics seemed like they're very young. Because a couple of the things that they were talking about are things that I was experiencing really heavily when I was younger. So I'm very curious. But I'm not gonna be like, how old are you? Because that's just rude. And kind of creepy, being that I'm 20 years old, and it's just like, how old are you, little kid? I don't think they're like a child, I just think they're like early teens. Or mid-teens, maybe. Doesn't matter that much, it's just my curiosity. I could care less. I don't know where Lou went either. Lou was around here somewhere and she disappeared again. She's probably sleeping on her cardboard thing. I don't remember if I showed you the finished product or not, but we made her like a little cardboard like castle house type thing so that she has a bunch of play areas and like a way to hide, and it also like hides where her litter box is, and it helps her get up to her food because we had to raise up her food since a dog kept eating it. And she loves the thing more than I thought she would. She's a really picky cat, so I thought she wouldn't like it. Nah, she like sleeps in it and plays in it all the time. She goes nuts in it. And most of the time she's usually sleeping on the inside of it or on the top of it when I can't find her anywhere, because I can't see it from the couch. It's like behind the couch at an angle. I gotta like actually paint it or like color it and stuff and improve it, because it's just like a plain cardboard box on the outside and everything, and I want to add more to it and add some more levels and stuff to it over time, but we were just making something like really quick that at least was functional, and then we're gonna add to it. And I get to carve pumpkins this week at some point. Pumpkins. Yeah, she definitely likes just sitting in boxes, but so it's like this big giant box that we cut like an opening into for her to go in and out of, and then we cut a couple little windows, and we made like a couple little like platforms inside it and a ramp inside it, and then put some like crinkle paper in it to play with and one of her favorite toys and that sort of stuff. So it's like a cat house like that you could buy, but it's just made out of cardboard because we had a bunch of boxes to use. We still have a bunch of boxes to use because I want to make her a bunch of stuff like that, since it's a way to kind of repurpose what boxes I have sitting around and give her some more like actual fun and enjoyment in the house. Since we can't play with her toys as much, since the dog gets angry and tries to like eat the toys. But I just thought she wouldn't like it that much when it's like a full like enclosed little space. But she loves the thing. Granted, I also put catnip in it at first, so that's what enticed her into it first and what kind of got her addicted to it at first. But the catnip hasn't been in it in a while. She finished that off. And I'm probably going to sprinkle a little more catnip in it soonish so that she can have some fun being hyper again. And it's funny when she's on catnip because the dog doesn't know what to do about it either. She goes after the dog a lot, and the dog goes after her all day, so I think it's fair. Yeah, it is. It's weird. There's also like Silvervine, which is supposed to be more effective than catnip, that we have to try at some point. It's just so weird, though. Like, yes, I give my cat, like, cat drugs to make it happy. 10 out of 10. What? She likes catnip, though, and I grew some in the house, too, so I have some upstairs that that I dried that I can, like, crush up for her, but for now we have stuff that I had bought ages ago that we're using up. She's funny, though. She goes nuts after it. Zips around like a little nut. Oh, interesting. So now the barn's gonna be on the same level as my house. The concept for the house is like it's gonna be like a real life house, or like the house that I want in real life or something, basically. Like it's gonna be really big because it has to be kind of bigger rooms and stuff, but it's gonna be like a hidden library and like a really cool kitchen and a decent living room and like a couple different bedrooms and a couple attic windows and more than one floor, and have a big porch and stuff like that. And have a little garden and a pathway and stuff like that. So it's like made into kind of a realistic house. But to make it realistic, you have to make it really big so that you can make all the rooms big enough to have like enough decoration and stuff. So I don't know. Because I don't know if I want to just kind of make it all one giant house for everything. Like maybe instead I could make a house with a few bedrooms and like living room and kitchen and stuff, and then make like a house that I make like a library building and stuff like that sort of thing instead. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll do with this world for that sort of concept yet. This is a really big platform, so that's why I'm kind of thinking that maybe doing more than one build would be more sensible to take up more space, but making an actual full building of a library would also be very difficult because that's a lot of books to make. This is a lot of stone that I'm going to have to mine out. It's very strange that the dog's still relaxed, but I guess she's just tired from the week, or from the weekend. Maybe I'll make like a smaller version of the house that I'm thinking of instead of a really large scale one, and then make a few other builds like an aquarium and library and those sort of things just as decorative builds that'll fill up some space and give me something to focus on for tasks. Hi, welcome to the stream. It's a little boring at the moment since I'm working on terraforming, but we're here to chat and vibe. How are you today? Yeah, I do a lot of random tasks so that I can just keep talking. I'm glad you're alright. Welcome to the stream. Right now I'm trying to finish a big platform area to make some builds on, and debating what builds will be on it. We had some random mental health and movie/show chats today, and then we'll probably end up on other topics too. It was just my birthday this weekend, so random topics about that are also happening. And my puppy dog is half awake and looking at me like I'm a stranger, so that's nice. Nixie, what are you doing? I'll give a little world tour in a minute too, because I have to do an updated world tour. My puppy is almost 10 months old, and her name is Nyx, N-Y-X, like the goddess, but we usually just call her Nixie, because that's also the whole water pixie idea, and connects back into other things of mythology. And she doesn't respond to just one syllable name very well, so we just call her Nixie all the time. She was born exactly on Christmas, and she is a German Shepherd Vizsla Boston Terrier mix. She's like 60% German, and then like 20 and 30% of the other two or whatever. She's a really stubborn little turd, but she's fun. Yeah, a lot of my names with things actually have a lot of like background behind them, and just about anything that I have in my household will be yeah, she was born on Christmas, Elliot. She was born like on Christmas Day. We didn't think she was gonna be born on Christmas, but she was. A lot of anything that I talk about ends up relating back to mythology, so that's why she has a mythology name. Like my cat who's wandering around somewhere here. Her name is Lucy. She's a black and white tuxedo cat that's almost 2 years old, and her name is Lucy because of Lucifer, both the deity/existence and Lucifer, the tuxedo cat from Cinderella. So that's a really cool name, though. That's a vibe. I like names. Names are cool. That's kind of just a fixation of mine over the years, is different mythology and names and stuff. And words and history and stuff. But, I don't know where the cat is, so I don't know what else to say about her. She's just kind of wandering around somewhere. Also, Nixie is the biggest of all of her siblings, as far as, well, the biggest out of all of her siblings that are local, because all of her other siblings are, like, maybe 60 pounds, and she is pushing 70 pounds, so, and she's not overweight, she's just really muscular, so I don't know what happened. She just decided to be more muscular than the rest of the dogs, but it was a literally, she can drag me, and I'm not exactly a light person, so, which I mean kind of works out because she was eventually going to be a service animal, so like, mobility is something that I struggle with as well, and kind of balance and stuff, so it would be helpful, but I just didn't expect her to be able to do any mobility, because I thought she wasn't going to be that, like, big or bulky, but she can definitely do mobility. She drags me when she wants to. I think she'd have fun with like pole sports and stuff like that, but she was out of a litter of 6 puppies. They were 4 females and 2 males. Most of them were like black or brindle, and then her and one of her sisters ended up being mostly tan with like black muzzle, like German Shepherd type of look, you know. The other ones you really wouldn't guess they're German Shepherd unless you like look at their face pretty hard, since they're all like black or brindle and black mix. But the boys, one of them went to my mom and one of them went to my uncle. The other girl that's tan actually has really long fur compared to the rest and super soft. She's a goofball. She is still at the house where they were born. My Nana wanted her because my dad lives with my Nana to take care of her, and that's where the puppies were born, and that's where they have both the puppy's mom and the sister of her, because the house that they got him from had like 17 different dogs, since they had a bunch of puppies at once on accident and didn't know how to take care of them, so they just kind of gave away 2 for free to my dad. But they didn't know that one of them was pregnant, and Dad didn't know one of them was pregnant until like a month before she had the babies on Christmas. So that was a fun little surprise. And then he ended up like giving them off really cheap or free because we couldn't afford to like get them all to the vet in time and stuff, because that's a lot of puppies to pay for. So they all ended up in the family for the most part. I think one of the other girls is at a house that's pretty local to the area. That's my weird speaking coming in. That has a few other dogs that she could play with and like a few kids and stuff, and she's, from what I know, pretty well adjusted. And then the other girl ended up over in Vermont with my partner's aunt and uncle, and she is definitely the heaviest last I knew, because they way overfed her and she's morbidly obese, and I'm a little upset about it, but you know, I can't control it, so it is what it is, I guess. But we still see most of them on a regular basis. Nixie gets to play with one of her brothers and her sister a lot of the time. She goes and sees her sister and her mom like every week, and then like her other brother she sees here and there, because I don't really bring her to my mom's that often. So they all kind of still socialize with each other, and they're doing pretty good. But of course, being Germans, they're really stubborn and they're very prone to high anxiety, and Nixie is extremely reactive. So it's a fantastic time working with them. We have 3 of us have the same trainer. Yeah, it's funny. They're awesome with each other. We three of the puppies have the same trainer, and the trainer like knew before we even told them that they were all from the same litter, like not even just by age. She was just like, they all have the same exact behavior. I know they are all the same litter. Because they are all extremely high anxiety, extremely high like separation anxiety, and extremely protective and stuff like that. So it's fantastic to deal with. But she's adjusting and she's learning, and we train her a lot, so she's growing. It'll be figured out eventually. She's definitely not going into... That's why I was saying the plan was that she would be a service dog, because I need a service dog, but I'm not going to throw her into being a service dog when she's pretty reactive and pretty high stress. That's just not healthy for her. So, it'll be in time. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. It's kind of it's partially a traits of like the parents thing, and also traits of like the mixes that they are. Most of the time their traits show up as a lot of German Shepherd traits, so like being very loyal and protective is very German Shepherd. And that's also why the trainer is pretty good with them, because she works with German Shepherds a lot, but they will grow and change over time. But for now she's just a house pup, because she doesn't really need to be involved in any of the stress that being out and about for service animal things would give her, and she's still learning to kind of be a little more confident and a little less stressed about everything all the time. Regardless of whether I need a service dog or not, I just won't do that to an animal if they're not like comfortable with it. So casual, very long message. Alright, gotta love ads. But she just perked up because she heard a siren outside. Nixie, what are you doing, honey? She's pretty tired today. Normally I'm talking to her quite often throughout the stream because she's usually kind of in my face and wanting attention. But she had a really long day, like the longest day of her short little puppy life over the weekend, so she's pretty tired still. Saturday we were out for over 12 hours and she was out with us the whole time, and she was outside for most of that time, and she was running around for a lot of that time, and also was a little stressed for part of that time because it was a lot of people she hadn't met before. So she's just, it was a day for her. She's out, she's done. She's like, I'm good night, I'm sleeping for the next 3 days straight, but I'm not gonna complain about her sleeping more, so. She did fairly well considering most of the people that she met that day were people she hasn't met before, or haven't met in a really long time. It was a barbecue gathering with most of my family on my dad's side for my birthday and a bunch of other birthdays. We have this, we call October our family month for that side of the family because we have a lot of birthdays in October. We have my birthday, my cousin's girlfriend's birthday, one of my little cousins, that's like a second cousin, like my cousin's kid, both of my uncles, my mom's birthday is also in that month. Yeah, so a lot of October birthdays, so it was like a big barbecue for everyone's birthdays all at once, and we couldn't leave her at home for that long, so we brought her, and she met a lot of the family that she hasn't met before, and surprisingly, she didn't bark at them or be very anxious about them. She didn't know what to do about the children that wanted to chase after her, but they ended up being pretty respectful for the most part after. We kind of were like, hey, give her space, please. I know it's a puppy dog and you're excited, but please breathe and give her a little space, and she loves fetch, so we ended up teaching them to play fetch with her, and she was fine with them when she had played fetch with them enough. She was like, okay, you have a ball, we're friends now. But it was a very long day for her, very eventful. It was a long day for me, so I can imagine how long of a day it was for her. I was ready to go home and then some. I don't think I made it home until like 1 a.m. that night, and we got there at like 10 or 11 in the morning, so it was a long, eventful day for sure. But that was the celebration of my birthday or whatever, so I attended. I really want to finish this platform. I'm hoping if I focus on it enough, I can get it done today, so that we can start building on it at some point when I figure out what I want to build on it. Yeah, since I gotta put stuff away and get some more tools, I will do a quick little tour of the world as well. This is just a chill little world that I make things on a lot. I don't have a house yet because my house is supposed to be on that platform. Let me put things away. I have a mess of chests, but they're mostly organized, to my brain at least. Pickaxe and 3 shovels, and move this. Okay, so this is the world. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to sleep soon. When can I sleep? Right now. No. Right now. Yes, haha. And I can see the sunset. Yeah, eventually I'll be right with that right now thing. Alright. This is the world. This is one of the first builds that I did, was the stables for the horses. So we have, I think, like 14 horses because I cannot control myself with taming horses. It's got a little barn area. There's an upstairs up there. We have all the horses in here. We have these 3. I have not named them yet. I need to name them all once I get enough name tags. These are a bunch of horses. These are our original horses. So the first one I ever tamed was this donkey, and then I tamed this horse, and then I bred them to make this mule. So these are the first 3 horses of the world. They get their own little pen. And then up here, I need to put the windows in still, but this is just a little area to be able to look out and stuff. This build took a while. Too many horses. The original idea was to have one of each pattern, but I think I have more than one of a couple patterns. I just like keep getting more horses. And the mule. The mule's pretty fast. I like him. True. I will have to have a whole list of names for them. That's a good name to add for one of them for sure. Then we have bees. All of the bees. This will be a garden eventually that'll wall off and make into a nice little area. But this was my tree farm where I kept planting saplings, and then every so often the tree would spawn with another beehive. So now we have a bunch of beehives. And a bunch of bees. Little bees. Little pollen bees. I love them. Bees are one of my favorite things of this update. They're so cute. Especially the little tiny babies. I haven't bred any of them to have babies. This is the pig pen. Just a little hut. That's the nether portal. This is the chicken coop, which I based off of like actual chicken coops. So there's a little pen area. There's like an actual little chicken coop area in here, which you can go in on your own. Oh shoot, I just let a chicken out. And they have little shelves they can go in or on and stuff. It's like a real life chicken coop. Well, I'm gonna let it live. I'm not gonna kill it. And then we have this island. So this island is completely hand built because I didn't want to build a really big bridge and instead spent 3 times the amount of effort building an entire island. Why that makes sense in my brain, I don't know. Don't question it. So we have the bridge that goes over to it. We have our little pathways. We have another horse here. Thank you. We're gonna add some bees on it at some point. We've got a little bench, got a boat, we've got another bridge. We've got the campfires, we've got a dock back there, and then we've got a little fisherman's hut. So yeah, this is the island. I don't know, it's just a decorative thing that I spent a lot of effort on for no reason. And this is the farm area. This is little farms. We have wheat, we have carrots, we have pumpkins and melons, and we have potatoes. And then over here, eventually these lanterns will be the main method of lighting instead of all the torches everywhere, but I didn't want to do that to the entire area yet. And then over here, oh, there goes more sirens outside. That's not concerning at all. Over here is just a little like area underneath the farm where there's a little bed and there's some chests and some storage and some decoration. Down there is one of my mines. That used to, the mountain that we're currently working on used to be a lot higher, but I've mined it down quite a bit. And yeah, that's like all the builds. There's a really cool mine over that way that I'm using. That I'll have to make pathways to. That's cool, thank you. I've been working on it for quite a while now. I don't even know how many. So this is what, episode 13 I want to say, and I've streamed for at least an hour every time I stream, so that's at least 13 hours of work into it, not counting the fact that most streams are 2 to 3 hours. And I've done a little bit of work outside of it, so at least 20 hours I'd say of work. But it's definitely not the longest I've had a world. It's definitely something that I'm still working on, but I'm thinking we'll do a bunch of builds on here. I try to at least stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I usually stream right around this time every day. For me, it's currently almost 3 p.m., so I stream from about 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. most days when I do stream. And other than that, it kind of depends on the day. If I don't have much work for the week, I will usually try to stream most of the days of the week. But it really depends. I usually try to make it on at least 3 times a week, so it's almost guaranteed that there'll be a stream every Monday and every Friday. Today is the Monday stream, because then it just kind of gives a perfect way to like talk about the weekend and then talk about the week and get some stuff done while we chat. So just a cool little place to chat a lot. This is gonna take ages to finish though. There's so much more of this platform to take out. My day's going alright. It was a rough weekend, so I'm just kind of chilling now. Thank you for asking. It's a lot better than it usually is on a Monday, because the puppy dog's usually quite a handful on Mondays, but she's pretty tired still. And then when I get off, I'll have to go do some tasks for the day and hopefully get all of my work out of the way for the week, or some of my work out of the way for the week. And at some point this week, I'll be carving pumpkins and roasting pumpkin seeds, because roasted pumpkin seeds are like my favorite thing ever, and I absolutely love making them. And then I think at some point this week we'll be doing a dinner night to get some food from a restaurant for dinner because of a late birthday kind of thing. So pumpkins are the best part of this season. It is pumpkin season. I will carve as many pumpkins as I physically can and roast as many pumpkin seeds as I can. I don't like anything to do with eating pumpkins except pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are like the best thing ever. So it will be a fun time. I bought 2 last week and then I bought 2 more this weekend because I have no self-control. So now I have 4 to carve this week at some point. So it'll probably be quite a few hours when he gets home that we'll be carving pumpkins. I almost wonder if I'd be able to stream for it from my phone or something. Aw, that sucks. I definitely think Halloween's a wonky holiday, but I still like doing pumpkin carvings and everything fall related. I mean, okay, so I like the origin of Halloween. I like Samhain. I like pagan holidays. I like the old school holidays. I just don't like the fact that it's become such a like huge commercialized ridiculous thing. I like the origin of it all, but I mean, to be fair, literally every holiday that exists is like this huge commercialized ridiculous thing now because capitalism. So there's really not much that I can say about it. But I will still do like everything to do with fall activities and pumpkin carving and stuff till like the day I die. I still have to go apple picking as well for the year and make some apple stuff. I might figure out a way to stream while I do pumpkin carvings as a, like, I think I can stream from my phone, so I might be able to like set my phone up on a tripod or something to stream for pumpkin carving, who knows. But I don't even know what I'll do for pumpkin carvings this year. Last year I did like a big bat in mine. I did like a bat outline that I carved in mine. I'm not particularly good at carving them, so I do random ones. I think the year before I did like moon and stars for one of mine. I like doing random stuff like that. And I think another year I tried to do moon phases, but I don't think the moon phases turned out so that good, so maybe I'll try to do moon phases again. That'd be cool. It's just the best time of year. Fall is the best weather and the best time to do things, and I love it. I mean, it's not even because it's my birthday area. Like, my birthday was this Saturday. It's not even just, like, because my birthday's in October. I just like fall. It's just a good vibe. But that's also because I just don't... I have a really bad heat intolerance, so summer is not a vibe for me for the most part. And then winter is really bad here a lot of the times. Thank you. And yeah, fall is my favorite season. Partially by default of the fact of like summer's kind of hard for me to breathe and winter's like kind of hard for me to function and exist because we get really bad snow and ice. But it's just got a bunch of fun activities and good times and stuff like that. So that's also why it's a good season. Like, eventually I'll go apple picking this year and make some apple crisp and apple pies and stuff like that. And I think at some point we'll probably go hiking with the dog some because she hasn't been hiking before. It's just good times. It definitely feels like it's so like faster accelerated this year though, because it was the first day of fall, everything just got instant fall weather. So all the leaves already turned a lot, and everything seems like it's already starting to get dreary before it should be, since it's just been like a lot colder, or a lot more of a fall weather than normal. We normally have some sort of like transitional period. I live up in New England, so we get pretty good seasons, but it's definitely a little funky with the climate change and everything going on. But it's a good time nonetheless. I really need to finish this project, and I have to sleep. Ah! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Run away, run away. Sleep. If those zombies followed me all the way over here, I will scream. They didn't, okay. I was gonna say, that should not be a radius that they have, but it wouldn't surprise me. We are running out of storage for all the dirt that we're making. Holy crap. Yep, we ran out of dirt storage already. Holy. Alright, I guess we're making more dirt storage. That is a lot of dirt. Too much dirt if you ask me. But I'll find a use for it eventually, because I used most of that on filling in some stuff over there and making that and building the island, so I'll find enough use for it somewhere. Yeah, like if I start tossing it out, I'm gonna need it at some point, so I may as well just be like, it's fine, and keep making more chests. Same thing with cobble. I have a habit of getting rid of cobble or not keeping it, and then I need to go mine cobble all the time, and it's quite irritating. Like, I'm gonna need all this cobble that I have for making the railway system that I was gonna make to the mine, which I might pause to do in a minute. Probably when I run out of shovels, I'll pause to do that project real quick, because that shouldn't take too long of a project. I do have to let the dog out pretty soon, but she's still sleeping, so I'm gonna give her a bit. Let's just use up some of these shovels and then we'll go do that. So the mine that I'm using that has a really good amount of caves and an entire mine shaft system and stuff is really cool, but it's about like at least 400 blocks in that direction from here. So it's a little difficult to get back and forth from it. So what I'm going to do is build a railway system over to it from the other side of the island over there, so that I can transport myself back and forth easier, and I can transport some items back whenever I get a full inventory. Especially since it's a mine shaft over there, so I've started mining some of the rails, so I don't have to make a bunch of rails for it either, which will help some. Because then I can just have a chest full of the minecart with chests, and then whenever I get a full inventory, I can just put one on the railway and fill it up and send it on its way back to home. Because I've done the method of bringing my mule over, but it's kind of stressful because I don't want the mule to die and I don't want it to like unhook itself from the lead and wander off, so I overly check on it and get anxious that it's just going to disappear on me. They won't despawn, but they certainly can unhook themselves from the lead and just like walk away really fast because it's a fast mule, so it's concerning. Well, hello, pig. Hello. That's my face. Can I help you? That's your butt. Alright. Pig just wanted some camera time. Fair enough, fair enough. Me too, pig, me too. The pig is the new streamer for the day. You just get to listen to the oinks all the time. That's all. Alright, Jeremy the pig. Jeremy the pig will probably disappear, I'm sorry to tell you, but Jerapig, yeah, alright. I'm sorry to tell you, but Jerapig will probably disappear within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, he is just dancing. He's dancing. He was dancing. He had a good time. He's now performing for the camera. He's just an attention hog. I almost call him an attention whore, which is probably not a good thing to say, but oh well. You're a pig. Just wanted some camera time. That's one way to put it. Yeah, that works. Fair enough. That's what we've evolved to on this stream today. I should probably actually make the railway something interesting. Yeah, the sheep's kind of vibing around here. Like, can I be on the camera, please? I should probably make the railway something, like, actually interesting and confined, like, dig a tunnel or something, but I'm probably just gonna build a single line of cobble to put the railway on and just up in the sky so it's away from mobs and won't have anything that blocks it. It'll be a nice little scenic view. Even though there's absolutely zero scenery all the way over to it. I think Jerapig disappeared, I hate to tell you. I think he disappeared. Yep, those are different pigs. I think he disappeared. Yep. Rest in peace. Whopping 5 minutes of existence on the camera. Yep, the sheep probably like ate him. The sheep's now Jerapig and sheep combined. He's big enough to have eaten him. Hate to tell you. That's why they make sheep so big. They eat all the other mobs. Besides cows. Sheep and cows just eat everything else. It's fine. That's why their models are the size that they are. God damn it. My intelligence level is forgetting that the remote controller tells me that the remote is dying like 20 minutes before it dies, because it told me my battery level was low a very long time ago, and I forgot that it told me that, and then it died on me. That's my fatal character flaw, because I cannot remember for the life of me when it tells me that the battery's gonna die. I can charge it while I play, I just literally always forget that it told me that it was dying. It gives me fair warning, it tries to be nice, but evidently it just can't give me fair warning because I can't remember it. I can go kill the sheep for you. I can kill the Jeremy Eater. I'll go murder the Jeremy Eater. I'll murder the Jeremy Eater, give me a minute. It's this one, isn't it? This one. Jeremy Eater. You dead. Ta-da! And we're gonna throw his remains into the ground where he will never be found again. Never to be seen again. Washed away. Deep into the earth. Ta-da! Jeremy has been avenged. There's Jeremy version 2 over there. Yeah, fair enough. That's just Jenny. Okay, you're naming all of them before I know that it's named. Fair enough. Gotta do something to entertain yourself. I'll just point at a mob and you'll figure out a name at some point. There's cows that spawned. They're here to eat more of the Jeremys. It is. Correct. You can help with naming the billion pets that I'll have, because that's going to be an entire stream as well, as taming a ton of pets and naming them all somehow. Eventually. I only have 6 name tags, but I'll be damned if I don't have like 20 pets by the end of this damn thing. I gotta tame cats and dogs for sure. I don't have any yet, but I wanted to build like a house for them or something, or somewhere to put them before I tame them, so they're not just out in the open strangling themselves on frickin' weeds most of the time. Either that or they are out in the open and just like get killed by something. Alright, fair enough. They're talking. Well, that's a little concerning considering they can't exactly speak English, but I'll let you have that. I mean, alright. I am not in a position to judge. I have enough mental baggage. I'll let you figure that out. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. Alright, fair. I really wish I could mod this more. Like, I wish I had more mods for this version to play around with. Like the mods on the PC version where you can do all the different cabinets and make all the different housing stuff and have all the different mobs and stuff. Oh my god, I would love that so much on this version. I mean, you can, but you have to buy them from the damn marketplace or whatever to have them. And I don't want to deal with that. Like, Aya's Cupcake's old mod pack. I want to try that sometime. Back when she did, her Oasis series. I used to love that series so much. And that was a fun mod. That had so much stuff to it, because it was like 7 or 8 different mods in a mod pack. Old school modded Minecraft was more fun, because there was like, it was so much more advanced to have something like bees or ants or things like that in the game, because those were things that weren't even thought of. Now it's like, yeah, you can get some more mobs, but I mean, they've freaking added a goddamn warden to things, like, there's plenty of mobs in the game already that are gonna try to eat you alive. Zombies. If I see anything related to the warden, I'm literally running. Like, I'm not touching it. I am not trying it. I don't care if there's loot. I don't care. I'm leaving. I know nothing about their mechanics. I am just running. I do not know enough to survive that. I can barely survive the normal mobs on a good day. I'm good. Screw that. I will literally be running away being like, fuck this shit, I'm out. The entire time. And that is a completely valid reaction, because those things are goddamn terrifying. I've seen a little bit about them, and I've seen like multiple people kill them, but I still like completely and utterly believe that they are absolutely unkillable and the most terrifying thing to exist in Minecraft to this day. Yeah, I haven't seen one in my gameplay yet. I've seen plenty of people deal with them in their games, but I have not seen them in my gameplay, and I will genuinely have a heart attack and die if I see one in my game. Like, that's, like, I will pass away. I will scream, and the stream will end, and that will be it. That will be the end of everything. I've seen them in gameplays of other people, though, because there's a bunch of people that were like, oh, I'm gonna kill the warden for this challenge, I'm gonna do this for this challenge. I also watch a lot of 100 Days players that will try to defeat stuff like that. Oh, jeez, that sucks. I hate that so much. I actually had a big loss in this world already, even though I haven't had it very long. I made a really good bow that was fully maxed out. Power 4, Unbreaking 3, Mending, and Flame. Or Power 5. Which one's the max of power? I had the max power. Unbreaking 3, Mending, and Flame. The only thing it was missing was Infinity. And I was in the Nether. And I got jumped by a crap ton of mobs, and it went bye-bye, because I died about 4 times trying to get back to it, and I was like, well, if By now it's despawned and I am tired. I am logging off. Screw this. So, it's somewhere in the nether despawned. It's a very sad day. It took quite a while to make that thing too. And the only reason I brought it in is because it one-shots like everything, so I could keep myself safer. Yeah, I didn't keep myself safer with the damn thing. It was upsetting. That was because I was in a fortress, and this is on normal mode, not easy mode, which is what I'm used to. So I don't realize how fast mobs spawn on normal mode in the nether, so I like would be fighting one thing, turn around, and I'm being attacked by 3 wither skeletons. Finish those off, and there's a blaze behind me, and like I just got absolutely murked. I was in a corner hiding from like 4 different blazes because I was near 2 different blaze spawners, and then 3 other wither skeletons showed up and bonked me, and it just didn't end well. I didn't block myself back off in time. I was trying to like fight off the damn blazes with my fist because I was trying to punch them out of the way so I could close up my area because I was like very low. Instead of, you know, using my sword and killing them and then closing it up, I was like hitting them because I was panicking, and then, yeah, I died. And that was in the middle of the fortress, so needless to say, getting back to it without any gear really sucked, and it didn't happen. My brain just completely turns off when I panic mode. It's like, yeah, no, this isn't happening. Oh, hi, Lou. What are you doing, honey? I was wondering where you went, kitty kitty. Don't knock my stuff over, please, kitty. You can crawl over there. Go ahead. No, that's my cup, not yours. You don't need a water cup. Yeah, the puppy dog's starting to wake up, so I'm gonna have to go over to my BRB sign to go bring her out real quick. I'll go bring the dog out real quick, and then I'll probably finish off pretty soon. Alright, so I'm gonna go bring my dog out. It'll only take me like 5 minutes. She just has to go out and run around a little and go to the bathroom and come back inside. She has to be on leash, so I have to bring her out when I go. Yeah, I'll say hi. Hi, Eric's, or is that how you like it pronounced, Eric's? It's a really nice name. But thank you for joining, and I'll be back in a few minutes, but you're definitely welcome to leave whenever, because I'll probably be getting off soon. And thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, understandable. That's cool. It's a really cool name for sure. If you are leaving soon, I will be back on either tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on what goes on. And yeah, I will be back in a few minutes after I bring the dog out, and then I will be getting off at some point later, or soon-ish. And if anyone leaves, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If not, I will see you in a bit. Well, that was a bit easier than normal. I am back. Hello again. Alrighty. We had to come back inside fairly quickly because it's about the time that kids start getting out of school, so she gets a little barky at people. Thank you. Let's make some coal blocks to take up some of this coal. Do it like that. Alrighty. Hey, it's another pig. Pig. Look. Favorite number? I don't know. I definitely, so I'm really into everything like witchy and magical, so a lot of the like magic numbers like 7, 13, 11, those sort of numbers kind of fall into place, but I've never really had a specific favorite. Yera, okay, Yera the pig. So I've never really had a specific favorite number, but those are kind of what I've drawn to, and of course repeating numbers, 111, and that sort of thing. I have an entire half of my bookshelves that is filled with just everything witchy related, so any of those topics are my jam. I haven't gotten into numerology much in a while. Numerology is a really interesting topic. But yeah, she just went outside and kind of wandered around because it's a little rainy today, so she's a little bit of a butthole about things. Numerology is, at least in the way that I study and learn about it, is kind of learning about the tie-in of numbers with different aspects of spirituality and energy and things like that. So if you've ever heard of things like angel numbers and things like that, that's kind of what it's about. And it also kind of ties into the concept of how, like, it kind of ties into also like the what is the term for that damn thing? The spiral. The perfect spiral that's always, you see everywhere, and all those numbers that associate with it. I cannot for the life of me remember the term for it. It's just a really interesting topic for learning about how things will tie into your life depending on the numbers that you come into contact with and things like that. Numerology also can play into things as far as proportions and different ways that your life tends to exist. Like the whole concept of, oh, make a wish when the clock's on the same numbers and things like that. I'm more so into a lot of divination ideas. I learn a lot about tarot and palm reading and runes and birthdays and astrology, so that's kind of more my thing, which also, if I bring that book down sometime, I can actually do, I have this really cool book that has a lot of interesting little tidbits about each day of the year as far as birthdays go. Like, it assigns each birthday a, like, number and a color and a flower or plant, and tells some cool little factoids about that day in history and a bunch of really interesting stuff, and I really like it, and I probably will spend a stream just kind of reading off people's birthdays from it, because that would be fun. It's somewhere upstairs on my shelf. Yeah, I will definitely have to make I'll probably, whenever I do that stream, I'll probably do it as a stream of its own, so it'll be, the notification will probably be something about, like, let's learn about your birthdays, or let's talk witchy stuff, because that's definitely something that I would talk about for hours on end. Anything within my special interests is something I would love to talk about for ages on end, but I haven't gotten into much of my witchy practice in my books in a while because I'm usually pretty busy. But I have a lot to learn about them. I have an entire, like, oh my god, I need to show that at some point. I have an entire, like, half of a spare bedroom right now that is absolutely filled to the brim with boxes that haven't been unpacked yet, because it is all, of my crystals, because crystals are a really big focus of mine. I absolutely love everything crystals, and then it also developed into liking like crystals and their energy for healing crystals. And I haven't unpacked them since we moved because Nixie, be nice to the cat. That's rude. I haven't unpacked them since we moved because I don't have a place to display them or to put them, so they're all like safely tucked away in boxes. At some point I'll be able to have a shelving display for them. It's just hard because almost all the rooms in this house have like sunlight access, so I have to kind of make sure that they're a little safe from the sun when they're on display so they don't deteriorate, since some of my crystals will deteriorate from the sunlight, or at the very least fade in color. There's some hardy crystals that are fine with being left in the sun all the time, but in general it'll fade out their colors and deteriorate them as in their stability in general. Cow, get off my platform. I absolutely love crystals. I have a ton of them, and it's definitely something that I'll have to show. I might even, if I'm still streaming by the time that if I'm still into streaming by the time that I end up having the space to put them, I'll probably even try to set up a stream for like how I'm setting them up and like while I'm unpacking them and everything. Because those are my babies, and I adore them. I don't want to know how much I've spent on crystals, and how much, like, people have spent on crystals for me. Because one trip to my crystal shop usually ends up being, like, at least $50. Because I have no self-control. Ezra is a really cool name. Your sister has a cool name as well. You guys just have cool names. 10 out of 10. Nixie, get over here. 1 second. Yes, I would love to. Sorry for muting for a second. The dog's not behaving, and I had to be stern with her, so I didn't really want to have that loud into the mic. I wasn't yelling, but when I get stern, it's pretty loud. Yeah, I would love to hear your second names, too. You guys have really interesting names. Gotta put stuff away again. Well, with quite a bit of effort, I got pretty decent progress. Why is this bee just wandering around? You have flowers. Oh. What? 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 It just disappeared. Okay. The bee just went away. That's really awesome. Actually, I've heard Invictus and Solaris before as far as like meanings behind them. Like, so I have a vague understanding of the meaning. That's really interesting though. Like, that's definitely a lot of thought and effort into that. There are a lot of Latin based, or at least your second names are very Latin based. I am very rusty with Latin. I've taken only a year of it, and it was quite a few years ago, but it's definitely Latin-based in a lot of ways. It's pretty cool. Latin's definitely a really interesting language. It's the basis of most other languages, and the basis especially of most Romance languages. I loved learning Latin. I actually almost took a second year of it, but good God, the first year was really complicated, and I did not have the energy to deal with the second year of it. A whole year worth of just dealing with all of the different conjugations and things of Latin words was exhausting. I am good. I'm all set. I ended up taking a year of Latin, half a year of German, and 2 years of Spanish. That makes sense. That makes sense. There's definitely a lot of older people have a lot more connection with Latin, especially people that love learning languages and things. Anyone that's drawn to languages tends to be drawn to Latin at some point in time. I end up drawn to Latin a lot because of my interest in mythology and things like that. It's a very interesting language. You can still learn a lot about it today, but it's very hard to pick up on today because there's not many other. You learn it to learn how to apply it in learning about other languages more so than to use it as a language, since it's not really a used language now. But it helps a lot with word meanings. Yeah, it's very beautiful as its own language, and it helps a lot with word meanings with other languages. So, for example, because I learned Latin first, 2 years of Spanish was, like, so much easier. Because for just about any Spanish word, I could pretty much pick up on the root of it in the Latin kind of translation in a way. Like, if there was a word that had a root from Latin that I recognized, I would be able to pick up on the word's meaning a lot easier. Spanish and French are very closely related to Latin as far as most of the Romance languages are, but Spanish, French, Portuguese, that sort of thing. But it's very interesting. I like learning languages, I just don't have the memory retention for it anymore. I can't remember most of the languages that I learned for the most part. I have bits and pieces that I can retain, but to be fair, I also can't remember yesterday, so my brain's a little mush. It's a little bit past the point where I can still learn languages. And it sounds like I'm quite old by saying that. I'm only 20, but my brain's pretty mush from a lot of years of trauma and learning so much that I crammed into my brain. Pretty much like 80% of my brain is just song lyrics, so there's not much room left for anything else. Nixie, what are you doing, honey? What doing? You can't go after your sister, it's not nice. She's like 1/10 of your size. You are 70 pounds and she is maybe 7 pounds. You need to leave her alone. I said what I said. You need to leave her alone. I really wish my cat ended up being a big cat, but she's a tiny little thing. She appreciates it. She probably would bite you, to be fair, though, because she's a really bitey little puppy that doesn't always endure cuddles, but she appreciates it nonetheless. She's currently after the cat quite often, because when she starts getting playful, she wants to play with the cat, but the cat is a very small creature and is very fragile, and the dog doesn't register that difference, so it doesn't end well. We usually try to keep them a bit separated, since usually if we let them play, the cat will end up screeching at some point because the dog bit too hard or played with her too rough. So we just kind of keep them separate as best we can so they don't hurt each other, or so the dog doesn't hurt the cat. The cat's literally been hanging from the dog with her nails into her skin, and the dog's like, but I don't feel anything, so they torment each other. Of course, she's chugging water right before her dad gets home, my partner gets home, which is gonna make her pee on the floor, but you know. She's a big, strong puppy, and it doesn't help that the cat's tiny. I had a cat before this cat that was like 20 pounds on a skinny day. He was like a really big, beefy cat, and I loved him so much. And then we got her as a little tiny kitten because we knew the family that had her, and they had quite a few big cats, and I was really hoping to have another bigger cat because I really missed my big cat that had been put down beforehand. And she's not a big cat. She is fully grown, and she is like maybe 8 pounds. She is so freaking tiny, and it's cute when she's cuddly and so little, but god, I wish we had a big cat so bad. I want another cat. I keep telling him I'm gonna trade the dog for another cat, but I won't. I like that dog too much. Her name's Lucy. Her full name is Lucy Purr because of Lucifer. Both the cat from the Cinderella movie and the actual Lucifer. But we call her Lulu in random little shortenings of her name most of the time. But her name's Lucy. She's a black and white cat. She's really cute. She was out of a litter of only 3 cats, and she's almost 2 years old. She'll be 2 years old in December, roughly. And we've had her since she was a little tiny kitten. But she stayed pretty tiny, which kind of sucks. But she's cute. She's really cuddly. The only issue we have with her is that she needs to get fixed still. She needs to get spayed still. And because she isn't spayed, she tends to still pee in places when she's in her heat cycle. And it's not very good when you rent apartments. So that's the only issue we have with her off and on. She's a little better about it lately, but we're gonna get her fixed. It's just to get her fixed through the actual veterinarian locally, it's about $300, which is money we don't have. But they do clinics for getting cats fixed locally that are $80. They're just little like one-day clinics that they do where they fix a bunch of cats, and then they charge like a lot less of a price because it's through the Humane Society, and then they like do it again in a few months. But understandably, because they're so cheap, they're really overbooked. So the last time I called, they were booking out like 4 months in advance, and they wouldn't book me a specific time. So hopefully, if I call them again, now that it's getting closer to winter, they'll be a little slowed down, since people are kind of like staying home a little more as the weather gets colder and don't have to go out as much, and hopefully there's not as many cats that have to get fixed, sort of thing. So we'll get her fixed soon. It's just been a mess to figure it out. She's getting a little better off and on about it. As long as we, for the most part, as long as we keep up with her litter box a little more diligently when she's in heat, she tends to still be okay. But then every so often you still smell cat pee and you're like, she did it again somewhere. So luckily most of the house is hardwood, so it's not as bad. But it depends on the time period, it depends on where she does it, so. I already have to buy a new couch because she kind of destroyed this one with how many times we had to clean her pee out of it, which is really gross. Yeah, luckily it's mostly not carpet. We have some carpet, but luckily she hasn't really peed on it besides like once. So we got lucky with that aspect for sure. Yeah, it's an old couch anyways, luckily, but it means I have to save up for a new couch, which isn't cheap, so we'll figure that out at some point. Since the new couch will be at least a few $100s that I don't have. But his money all goes towards the bills, so anything like that that's a bigger expense I just have to save up for, since I can make money a little faster since I work from home and do like gig by gig type of work. So if I get one of my clients to get me some work within a month or so, I can have about 180 and I make about 200 monthly or 300 monthly off another person and stuff like that. So yeah, money does suck. It's a definitely money-based world, and it's exhausting. Definitely makes you want to just kind of run off and live off in the woods in a camper and chill out, but eventually one day. So it's alright. We're surviving for now. And I managed to save a little to get myself a couple birthday presents, so all's okay. I have a Build-A-Bear Oogie Boogie coming in the mail soon that I got. I have way too many Build-A-Bear stuffed animals, but I cannot resist when they make cool ones. They have a possum one that I want too. Possums are awesome. Awesome possums. Yeah, Build-A-Bear, like the little, I don't know if you're from somewhere where it's very popular, but like they're a company that does a bunch of different like stuffed animals for mainly kids, like where it's this interactive way to make a stuffed animal, and they make a bunch of different themed ones for different holidays and stuff. They're basically just expensive stuffed animals is all. They're called Build-A-Bear because the in-store one is where kids actually get to like watch you put it together themselves. That's like the cool part of it and stuff. But you can also order them offline. And for Halloween they did a bunch of Tim Burton themed ones, which is my absolute favorite thing ever. And they had an Oogie Boogie one from Nightmare Before Christmas, and I couldn't resist it, so now I have that coming in the mail soon. But I have like a toothless one. I have the what is it, Grogu? Yeah, it's they make a bunch of different kinds of stuffed animals, and if you go like in store to places, they like stuff it for you and everything, and like there's this whole interactive thing for kids where they like have you make a wish on this little heart that they put in it, and like give it a big hug so it'll grow up strong, and like all this cute little like cheesy stuff for little kids to have fun with it. And they also have their own like website for everything. And they do a bunch of brand deals, so they have a bunch of different branded ones too. That's how I got Toothless and the Grogu one and stuff like that. Is it Grogu? I don't know the technical term. Again, I haven't seen Star Wars, and I really shouldn't have Star Wars merch if I haven't seen Star Wars, but If you look up Build-A-Bear, it'll probably come up with the website at some point if you ever wanted to learn about it more, because I'm not good at describing things. This I can get with the shovel. I'm really tempted to take all of this out with my diamond pickaxe, but it doesn't have unbreaking, and I don't want to lose my diamond pickaxe, so I don't want to do that, I don't think. Shoot, it is time for me to get off. I almost lost track of time. I do have to get off stream before he gets home and the dog starts barking like a maniac, because she barks like crazy when she's excited when he's home. Let me put everything away and then I'll save my eggs with stuff. Alright. Okay, so I do have to get off. Sadly, today was mostly just well, I do like the chit-chat, but sadly today was mostly just one kind of slow progress of a project. Hopefully another stream we can get that finished so I don't have to keep dealing with that. But yeah, I am getting off for now. Hopefully I will be on tomorrow, but if not, I will definitely be on Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and thank you for the follow as well. It was really nice meeting you too, and it was nice chatting with you. Thank you for all the topics. I will see you next time. Bye!